I don't usually do this, but today we are going to do a yes, no, maybe with my 7 most recent reads. Now, let me be clear. I'm not going to tell you no, because I believe that there is a reader for every single book, even if I didn't love it. And let's be real, I would have DNF'd the book if it was a no. So basically what I'm saying is I will try to give you some context for whether or not the book is for you. Starting off with my most recent read, Throne of Glass, and this is actually a reread. I have to say, I enjoyed this so much more the second time around, and I'm not sure if that's because I listened to it on audio and Elizabeth Evans is amazing, or because I was in a different headspace. So I have talked about this previously. When I first read Throne of Glass, I had just finished reading ACOTAR, and ACOTAR was my introduction to romantasy as an adult. That book sent me into a spiral, okay? I was not the same person. And so I think that I was comparing every book that I read after it to ACOTAR, and so it did not allow me to fully enjoy Throne of Glass. So yes, you should read it. I also recently discovered a new auto-read author, CJ Drews. So about a week ago, I put a poll on my story asking people to choose my next read for me, and at the time that I looked at it, Don't Let the Forest In was winning. This book, absolutely, I think everybody should read it. And if you have a young teen, a YA reader, this is a phenomenal, amazing book for them to read. It really handles and deals with kind of the identity making that a lot of adolescents go through. And it deals with family conflict, friend conflict, and internal conflict that the narrator faces. And so 100% would recommend this book, and especially if you have a child and you want to open them up to queer literature, queer books, I think that this would be a phenomenal place to start. So once I finished that book, I also began Hazelthorn. I love it. Yes, absolutely read it. Before Don't Let the Forest In, y'all suggested Wild Dark Shore, and let me tell you, yes, you should read it. This is a psychological thriller, and I don't usually like psychological thrillers, okay? However, it was dual POV, and I could not tell who was the sketchy character. Everybody seemed very shady, and the narration, I listened to the audio, it was just absolutely phenomenal. It was heavy, and I found myself kind of feeling, sad for the rest of the day when the book ended, but I do think that that is important, and that is part of why we read. So yes, you should read this book. When I finished it, I needed something a little bit lighter, so I listened to Hot for Slayer by Ellie Hazelwood. It is a short book. It was about 3 hours long. I loved it. Okay, I didn't know if I would love it. I was like, why am I going to read a short story? Why am I going to listen to a short story? If you are having those feelings, this is your sign to just listen to it, okay? Listen to something short and funny. It was so freaking funny. And I think that is part of the reason why I enjoyed it so much. Like, I found myself actually smiling and laughing as I was listening to it. That brings me to a very unhinged book, Between Two Kings. This is book 2 in the Kiss of the Basilisk series. Do you need to read this book? Honestly, no. I would say that this is a maybe. This one is, very unhinged, kind of gross at times, over the top on the smut. If you've read the first book, you kind of understand. Now, if you do want to see how unhinged a book can get, then I think that, yeah, go for it. Read this book. The character development to me did not seem worth the read, but yeah, if you want to know what's going on with the conversation, then yeah. So this one is a maybe. I think that's 7 books, but in the case that it's not, we have We Love You, Bunny, and yes, you should read this book. This is horror. It's the 2nd book in the Bunny duology, and there are literal smiley faces that are used as punctuation in the book. The names, the character names are so funny because, the narrator's always coming up with nicknames for people, and they're calling people like Murder Fairy. It's a weird book. Yes, you should read it. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought, and let me know what you are planning to read next. I want to listen to Bound by Ellie Hazelwood.